Fallout, it's one of the most iconic video game series of all time. It's a game that I loved playing back in the day, and I love to reminisce back on as I'm watching the series that's now on Amazon. It's an incredible title, but you may be wondering what other games are out there that have similarities to any of them from the Fallout series. Today I'm going to answer that question, bringing you 10 games that are very much in one way or the other like the Fallout series that you may enjoy playing. Plus, it's never a bad idea to go back and replay a Fallout game. You won't be let down. So out of all the games that I've been sharing with you guys here today, I have one that I've been playing like crazy, that I'm absolutely in love with, and that I have some information to share with you about today. I'm talking about Raid Shadow Legends, a game that I started a brand new YouTube channel for 5 months ago, and I've been playing it daily and putting videos out every single day. And I want to thank Raid for sponsoring today's video. If you don't know what Raid Shadow Legends is, it's a dark fantasy champion collector battler game where you get some intense champions like my most recent, Wixwell. This guy is a legendary maniac that I can't wait to build out and bring into battle. All of that is coming very soon on my YouTube channel, so if you want to see how to build out this champion, you're going to want to come through and check it out. Now, in addition to that, if you're a brand new player, I do have a QR code and a download link in the description of this video that I suggest you click on and use, because you'll get yourself a free epic champion. I'm talking about Rector Drath. She is one of the best healers and revivers inside of the game, and starting with her day one, I call the cheat code to your success in Raid Shadow Legends. Now, there are always things to do inside of Raid, and I just unlocked Wixwell, and now I have an event to do to level him up and to really get him as powerful as I can. I never get bored inside of the game because there is always something to do. Currently, my clan is spanking the opponent right now in clan versus clan, and we have more juicy rewards that we're gonna get because we're gonna kick these guys' butts. You wanna join us? Sure. Find me in game. The clan name is Echo Raid. We're level 9 and we're very active and having a great time playing the game together and getting rewards for beating our opponents. So I want to remind you to use my download link in the description of this video or the QR code to download Raid Shadow Legends, get massive rewards, and come check out my channel because we can hang out there every single day and play Raid Shadow Legends. I'll see you guys over there next after you watch this video so you can see what's up and be convinced that Raid is for you. First on today's list, we have Mad Max. This game is action-packed in a post-apocalyptic world where you fight others and you have some really nice vehicle combat as well. Everything inside of this game seems like it's been beaten by time and put together in a way where the rebels are just able to make things work again. Incredible combat, both vehicle and person versus person, post-apocalyptic, open-world experience, a game that really will, very much so, out of everything on today's list, remind you quite a bit of the Fallout series. You can't go wrong playing this one. It's been out for quite a few years now, having released back in 2015, at least available on Steam since then, but it's still an amazing game that you could play that I'll guarantee you'll enjoy. Next up, we have The Outer Worlds. Dropping in 2020 on Steam, this one takes the post-apocalyptic experience out into space. Many of the games that we're going to see here today actually do have a space theme as well, being that it does kind of play in fairly well to the whole Fallout theme, although it's not taking place out in space. Here you have an action RPG, open world style game where you are doing your best to survive. It's definitely one of those survival style games and something that we really do like as far as engagement goes with other NPCs in a Fallout title. The combat inside of this one is very fun and very brutal. The weapons are enjoyable to play, and the graphics, they're actually insane, and it really makes you want to dive deeper and play more inside of the game. Some of the best parts are the story that's given from dealing with and interacting with other NPCs inside of the game, if you're into the story type thing. Releasing back in 2014 on Steam, we have Metro 2033. What we're looking at here is a game that's gotten some really positive reviews, over 72,000 of them, and it's one of those post-apocalyptic, atmospheric, rich story-driven games. A game where you really do feel like you're part of the action and part of the misery that's going on in the world. The weapons inside of the game are pretty darn awesome, as are many of the enemies that you're going to encounter along the way. When I look at games like this, it makes me think that I should just start playing amazing games that I love playing and streaming them for you guys in the channel, because these are experiences that so many people miss out on, that I actually miss out on myself, and I'd like to dive into them. This one, a must play, Metro 2033. Atom RPG, another open world RPG style game, this one having dropped only back in 2021 here on Steam. It's a survival CRPG title that has a top-down mechanic that's very different than what we've seen in any other games that we looked at here today. I quite like it though. The different perspective brings something different to this game than we've seen before. You get taken through many different worlds, and you have a different type of combat system than we would experience in many of the other titles as well. But it is something that's fun. It's something that definitely has the feel that you would have in a Fallout title, and this one offers a sandbox mode, which is quite fun as well. Now, Wasteland 3 offers something pretty amazing in itself. Dropping on Steam back in 2020, we have a turn-based RPG post-apocalyptic strategy game. Whew, that was a mouthful, but as you could see from how the game is built out, what the graphics look like, it has that Fallout feel. Wasteland, I remember playing this back in the day, Wasteland 1 and Wasteland 2, and it was quite fun. Very in-depth strategy. The vibe that you get from the game overall, though, is what's going to remind you of something that's related to Fallout. Fallout's a game that brings you an entire new world, and you're getting that world vibe here inside of Wasteland 3. And now we have Oblivion, a game that is pretty old. Back in 2009, this one launched here on Steam, and it is a very good game. Coming out before Skyrim even dropped, you have an open world fantasy single player RPG experience that's quite fun. As you can see from some of the graphics here, the game is a bit dated, but the gameplay is some of the best of its time and still worth playing today. Also, does have some of that same feel you would experience in Fallout. Now let me introduce you to Rad. Dropping on Steam back in 2019, we have something that is very cartoon, Borderlands-like looking, but also has that Fallout vibe. Maybe a little bit further off the beaten path than you're looking for if you were into a Fallout vibe, but this one is definitely a more cartoony, more casual feel of the same type genre. This is an action roguelike post-apocalyptic game that is actually not an easy title. The difficulty here is quite intense, and it's going to keep you challenged over time. Don't let the childish looking or the more cartoony looking graphics fool you. This is a game that's a lot of fun, can be quite difficult at times as well, and gives you a post-apocalyptic world feel that you're probably looking for in gaming. Having launched back in 2018, Dustwind is up next. As you can see from the cartoon narration that the game offers, definitely something similar to what we've seen in the Fallout series. But the combat is quite different. It's more of a Wasteland style content that you're looking at here, but again, having that same feel of the post-apocalypticness that you get from Fallout. This has a female protagonist inside of it as well, and it's definitely a different vibe game. This one's definitely not going to be for everyone. It's probably wouldn't be my first choice from today's list, but it is a very solid game that takes some strategy, and it's going to take some survival instinct. Next, let me share with you Paradise Lost. Dropping on Steam back in 2021, we have a underground walking simulator style game where it's more about the experience and story than it is about the actual combat, hence the genre. Walking simulator. This is something that if you're into a post-apocalyptic experience and something that's got some good gore to it, but you're not looking for the action element of the game that you'll get in most other titles from this list, would be a game that you're probably going to want to take a look at. But if you're looking for action, and maybe story doesn't matter as much, you'd probably pass on this and move on to the next one. And that next one is any game from the Bioshock series. We're looking at gameplay here from Bioshock Infinite, but Bioshock 1 and Bioshock 2 are just as good and may even give you more of a Fallout vibe than Bioshock Infinite does. Speaking about this whole series in general, the storyline here is incredible. The graphics are on point. It's been on Steam, at least Infinite has, since 2013 and has over 100,000 very positive reviews. My personal favorite was Bioshock 1. I love the PvP in Bioshock 2, although it wasn't a massive hit. And the story and interactions you have with other characters inside of the game is very, very good. And that's coming from someone that isn't big into lore or storytelling. This game is one that I would very much recommend you try. Even if you want something that has a general... let me redo that. Even if you want something with a general vibe that you would get from a Fallout title. If you've never played Bioshock or any game from the series, play it after watching this video, please. And Elder Scrolls Online is next, on Steam since 2014 with 120,000 positive reviews. Before we go any further, I want to remind you guys that I put lists out just like this every single day in the channel, bringing you games that you just have to try. Top 10 lists within a certain genre, mobile games, PC games, everything that you need to know as a gamer. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on tomorrow's video. But back to Elder Scrolls Online, looking at a really popular game here. It's an MMORPG, open world fantasy style game. For anyone that's a fan of the whole Elder Scrolls series, you probably are like, okay, Echo, we already know about this one. But many people are not and need to be introduced. With a general Fallout vibe, Elder Scrolls Online will definitely be a game that you would enjoy and probably play for quite a bit.